You said to me before, and I knew this about you, that after your 7-year contract was done, even though you got more fan mail than anyone, and you were probably making
except Garbo,
and you were making a ton of money.
Yes.
It was very easy to leave it behind. Now, everybody writes about the old stars and that they're all like Norma Desmond and they're constantly looking in the mirror. How do you explain why you, who were certainly the most beautiful of your era, didn't become like those women that just constantly, tried to hold on forever and just, wanted to make movies forever, looking in the mirror and constantly getting facelifts and, how were you able to leave it?
No, I'd made up my mind, honey, when I started that I only wanted to be in for about 7 years because I was offered a 7-year contract and that was all I wanted to do. I didn't want to stay in movies for now and ever. No, I wanted to stay in movies for about 7 years or till that contract went out, and they paid me a very good amount of money, so I was able to do it. And but then, when I was been working for about 7 years, then I was, I think, invited up to Marion Davies, and so I decided to go up there and relax because I was pretty tired by that time. I'd made 7 pictures, boom, boom, boom. Well, wait a minute, more than that. No, I made more than 7 pictures. I made a lot of 34, yeah.
So say that again.
Yes, I made about 34 pictures, and I was getting a little tired towards the end. And so I figured, well, I'll take a rest, and maybe I thought I might come back and do some more, but I didn't really care too much one way or another. I'd done what I wanted to do. I'd made 7 marvelous, well, they weren't marvelous, but some of them were very good. And then, as it was just like the good Lord had done it all for me, because I met the handsomest, and that's over movie stars and everything. I had a little thing going with Ramon Navarro, and he wanted to take me out, and he would, and so on and so forth. But I had just read where the Spanish men expected you to walk three something behind them. You know what I mean? I thought, no, that's not for me. So anyway, but I did like him as a person. And he did ask me to marry him, I think, but I remembered that, and I kind of thought, well, that's no, I don't think I go for that, because you see, my father was Spanish, and although he was born in Brooklyn, I mean, he was thoroughly educated here and so on, but he was born in Brooklyn and so on, but he was of Spanish origin. And very high types. As a matter of fact, I had a paper that I wanted to take to somebody to have them tell me what this was all about. It told you a lot about the Spanish people, and then it had quite a lot about my group, and I don't know whatever happened to it. Things just get lost, and when we move so much, and when you keep moving all the time, something usually gets lost every move, or pretty soon.
So you went back. You went to the Hearst Ranch.
So I went to the Hearst Ranch, and I had a wonderful time, and I stayed there, I guess, for about 5 months or something like that. Marion just wouldn't let me come down, and I loved her. I just thought she was wonderful. And she came up to me one day with all her friends, a lot of them there, and she said, "Anita, you've got the most beautiful bone structure I've ever seen." And coming from Marion herself, I almost fell off the chair. And so anyway, I realized then that she really did, she was very interested in me. She used to have me up there all the time. I mean, I'd come down and then I'd get the call.
Now, is this when you met your husband? Is that what made you?
I didn't meet him there, but I did meet him during one of...
Shortly after that.
Yeah, shortly after that. During one of the times that I was going to stay at home with my folks and relax, I met the handsomest man I'd ever seen. Oh, he was a dream. And, your grandmother said that about my husband, too. You know that, don't you, Randy?
Yes.
Yes, she thought he was great, too. But anyway, so one day I was taking a little, I was asked to go out and play golf. And it was right after the Christmas holidays, and I'd been tired. I'd been buying Christmas things, or before the Christmas holidays, I'd been buying Christmas things, and I was tired, frankly. And I said, "Look, would you give me a rain check on going to play golf? I'm kind of tired today." And I said, "We'll make it maybe for Tuesday." So this gentleman said, "Oh, that's fine with me. Yes, we'll do that." And then something went down my back and said, "Go, go, go." And I don't know why. I just said, "Well, I don't know." I said, "Maybe we'll go." I said, "I guess we can." And so we decided to go. And this gentleman, there was a gentleman that was down upstairs wanting to talk to my mother to say goodbye to her. And so I ambled down, thought, well, I'll wait down in the car. And all of a sudden, I saw the most beautiful, handsomest man I'd ever seen in my life. And that includes movie stars, everybody. I took one look at him, and I thought, oh, my golly, where did he come from? And I kept walking around watching him. And all of a sudden, he happened to look down, and he saw me. And he smiled, and we just hit it like that. And about 3 weeks later, he asked me to marry him. And, of course, I did. And we were married for about, until he died, about 30. Well, how long would you say, Randy? About.
You were married for 54 years.
Yeah, 54 years to the same man. And I loved him. And Randy's grandmother said he was the handsomest man she ever saw. Now, she's got a pretty handsome grandson of her own, But she just, Nani tells it like she feels it, And she said no.
So once you met him, the movies didn't mean anything?
Nothing meant anything to me but to marry him. And I did. And he was a naval aviator. And so I'd follow him around, wherever he went, and that I could go. And fortunately, I loved traveling on ships. I mean, I never got seasick or anything like that.
And you didn't miss the fans?
Didn't miss anything, honey. I had what I wanted. See, I'd had all that. And, of course, there was a certain amount of it still going. For instance, when we got to, because people didn't forget the people they loved in the movies, you know what I mean? Even if they weren't making a movie right then or something like that, because we were out in... where's the place across the water?
Japan.
Japan? Was it Japan? Where was it? Do you know?
You were in Japan.
It's all right.
Yeah.
And so you were never tempted to go back?
No. Only once. And I said, if I get a religious, I play a nun. That I would do. But just that. I mean, I didn't want to go back in the movies. I just wanted to play a nun or because I'm a Roman Catholic, and I would have loved to have done that. And I got a call to do one. And, I said, yes, I would. So my mother went with me, and we went over to, some hotel where these people that were working there were staying. And that night, what was the name of the actor that was with us? Do you remember that, Randy? He was so... Huh?
Cesar Romero.
Yes, Cesar Romero, bless him. Anyway, he's gone today. I think he's been gone for a while. But Cesar Romero, and he was very well known at the time. And so he had gotten a big white new car, and it was just beautiful. So he offered to take us back to the hotel. See, he was working in the movie too. But it started to rain, and it rained and rained and rained, and we got soaked. And instead of taking a hot shower and just letting them wait for dinner, we sat down and ate with these damp clothes on. And the next day I woke up and I couldn't say anything. I couldn't talk. This thing had gotten to me, and so I was supposed to appear in the movie. I was supposed to play in it, and I couldn't even open my mouth. So we had to just cancel that, and I went home, and